So, I've been rated what's called a high tier normie, is what a lot of people say.
What about this other word I've heard, mogging? What is mogging?
Christ. This is going to be fun, I think. We're going to have fun today. What is up, players? It's your favorite black creator. We're back again with another video, straight back in the studio. So today, we are going to be reacting to perhaps the most requested cat yet. I think, other than the regulars, there's no one that you guys have wanted me to react to more than the main man, Clavicular. If you're not familiar with this absolute character, he's basically like some sort of vain, unhinged pharmacist, just getting high off his own supply.
I'm personally someone that started testosterone, started exogenous hormones at 14 years old, right?
Yeah, nice. See, the situation with this legend is basically, if you offer him some sort of drug or medication, and you tell him it'll crumple his liver, but sharpen his jawline, he'll say, why are you still talking? Give me the product. To put it simply, this guy's whole thing is that he thinks looks are the most important metric, okay? Above money, status, everything. And he will do anything, no matter how extreme, to improve his own.
I mean, the goal is to mog, okay? I just want to mog. I don't give a fuck about getting girls. I don't give a fuck about that shit. I want to mog people, right? I want to walk into a room and people are like, holy shit. Holy shit, look at this guy.
Looksmaxing. Okay, that's the term that's been coined to describe these legends. It's been cooked up, presumably in someone's mother's basement, but he's not the only one, you see, but he is very much the face of it now. He's popularized the hell out of this thing. But I kind of like Clav, you know, he's weird. I'm there for it. I mean, he's a bit extreme. Obviously, I don't agree with everything he says, but he's entertaining. He's probably the first person we've reacted to that I actually sort of, well, I don't watch his live streams, or I've got better things to do, like not watch them, but I see the little clips on TikTok, you know, and I keep track. I'm down with the kids, man. But there's a real eclectic mix of content over on Clav's channel. It's not just Looksmaxing, okay? You can watch him, you know, get blown live, or you can watch his face when he gets blown. If that's what you're into.
Got you, we got you. Slot calls, give me slot calls, boys. Slot calls. No, you're good. You're
Or you can just watch him chilling with his boys, all right? You can watch him riding in a van with a bunch of non-controversial figures singing a new Kanye hit. Weird. I don't know why that went so viral. Hit. Oh, Hitler. Or if that doesn't do it for you, you can just watch him run someone over. Okay.
Is he dead? Hopefully.
The choice is yours, really. Just take your pick. Anyway, without further ado, let's jump into some bloody content, goddammit.
What drugs do you take in a day? I'm taking testosterone every single day. I take 7.5 milligrams of Accutane a day. I use crystal for hollow cheeks. I'm not a huge longevity guy.
Yeah, you heard the man. He does crystal meth to maintain hollow cheeks. God, priorities. That is like getting chemotherapy because you need a haircut. Not a huge longevity guy? What? That does shock me. All right, Accutane, testosterone, crystal. Pretty sure Cristiano Ronaldo has the same shopping list. Drink straight Accutane and start testosterone at 14. That is such a ridiculous reason to be doing meth. There's got to be so many other things that suppress your appetite. You know, caffeine, nicotine, to name a couple. Nah, meth. Those addicts, they look so trim. I believe that's the sort of thing that he would call cope. I think that's a Looksmaxing term. Presuming it means coping mechanism. And I'll be honest, I've not done as much Looksmaxing revision as I should have. You know, because I'd rather, well, sort of set myself on fire than dive too deep into that rabbit hole. I just thought that was a good place to start so you guys can see the sort of lengths that he's willing to go to. But now we'll wind it back to his origin story. We'll take a look at a clip that I hinted at the beginning.
People look at what you're saying. There might be some kids out there, you know, they might be interested in taking testosterone, and you know, that's just not healthy.
There's really no reason not to, right? So I'm personally someone that started testosterone, started exogenous hormones at 14 years old, right? The month before I turned 15, to be specific.
There we go. Walter White's most handsome customer has been dabbling in the testosterone game since he was 14. I mean, I think he was late to the party, if you ask me. Who needs puberty, right? That's some woke shit. Who needs it when you've got testosterone on your Christmas list? And Santa delivered that year. Guy must have had a Christmas list like a damn drug chart back in his day. That's the danger with this guy. Like, he did testosterone at 14 and he doesn't even regret it. You'd think that'd be one of the biggest regrets ever in history, but he's sat here recommending it. And, you know, ultimately he's gonna have a young, impressionable fan base, and he's dropping these sort of lines. You know, he's big on this idea that there's just no reason not to. But I mean,
So right now, I am infertile, but
hot take, but that sounds like a reason to me. To be fair, he does go on to say that he has got a system. All right, of course he does. He's got a system he can put in place if he ever wants to get back in the fertility game. If he wants a few little clavs running around, a few little moggers.
I just want to mog.
But presumably that system just means more drugs. Code word for more drugs to counteract the drugs he's currently taking. But do you really want to be relying on Clav's big system in the future so you can have children? You don't. You just don't. So don't do it, you know? I mean, even for people that take tests young, which is silly, but people do it. 14. That is bonkers, because surely you'd at least let puberty run out. Just see what happens. Guy just had to find that cheat code for puberty, did he? Anyway, let's have a look at sort of why he got into the Looksmaxing game.
I was a bouncer for a little while, and that kind of helped me make a lot of necessary observations to shape kind of how I think about everything, right? So I was noticing who was going home with the pretty girls every night. And I noticed it was really about 1 to 2% of men. It was people who were very tall, people who were very good looking. This is something I was noticing over my formative years when I was a teenager growing up. Right, so making these observations, kind of seeing that sometimes good-looking people would be able to go up to women and start making out with them without saying anything, I kind of started to shift my worldview a little bit and realize, hey, okay, so this is like the most important metric, and I have to go all in.
When the devil was he a bouncer? I'm sorry, but he's 19 in this podcast clip, and he sat there talking about back in his day, he was a bouncer. America, man, what is going on over there? Just one of the big side effects of testosterone at 14, I suppose. You end up being some sort of 35-year-old teenager. I totally agree that looks are massive. You know, they'd be very beneficial in all aspects of life. Like, there's no benefit to not being good looking, I guess. Definitely going to open lots of doors. I don't think it's the #1 metric. But in this game, you know, if we're talking at his age, just out in the club, being a handsome, good-looking guy, obviously that's going to play probably the best. Not in the long term. I mean, I think money and status is always going to win eventually, like to an extent. Yeah, I've seen the film Eyes Wide Shut. All right, Tom Cruise is definitely the top mogger, if you will, in that film, and I can't say he comes out victorious.
Gentlemen, please, remove your clothes.
He has smashed it, though. He's proved his own point in a way. I mean, he blew up just after he quote-unquote ascended. Not that that was really the reason he's as popular as he is. I think it's because he's very edgy. This is where it could be a bit of a bad influence if people see this and think, shit, well, if I just glow up off the back of a bunch of drugs, maybe I'll blow up online as well. But the thing is with him, he's got something about him. You know, he's funny. Plus, he was the first one to really do it, to really make it mainstream. So now he's made it. He's got a bunch of money. He can fund this whole thing, but that wouldn't work for most people. But anyway, when did I become the White Knight? All right, he's mogging. Everything's fine because he's mogging. Yes. I'm invested now. Let's see what else he's got.
You want to bone smash your lateral zygomatic arch, right? So that gives you the wider bizygomatic width. So bone smash, you could use a hammer. You could use this massage gun as a really good tool. Or you could do the good old lay in your bed and fist. But make sure, here, show them. Make sure you're bracing your head so that the CTE doesn't occur. You know, this is you would brace your head and then punch, all right, to create micro traumas. Okay. And you could do your under eye region, your infraorbitals. If you have eye bag, it's going to give it a little bit more support.
Wow. So he actually takes a leaf out of King Azule's book, which I didn't see coming, I've got to say.
I used to sit there and bang my bones all day with bamboo sticks and a hammer after banging their heads against the wall for the first year. It becomes 4 times thicker.
Little hammer to the gonial ridge, Flying Dutchman to the wall. Different tools for different needs. Okay. This guy does it to look more handsome. I think King Azule just does it for, you know, passion for the sport. Bone smashing. That's always a fun one. I mean, look at the kids' faces.
Make sure you're bracing your head so that the CTE doesn't occur.
Priceless. They don't teach this stuff in schools, but they should, all right? They really should. We need this guy in there teaching them. Every day's a school day with Coach Clav.
Yeah, make sure you're bracing your head, kids, all right, so you don't get CTE. Okay, give it a shot, son. I want to see your form. Weak. What do you want, prey eyes, you subhuman fuck? I want to see a connection. Bang. All right, you got to feel the nerve damage. What are you doing with that punching bag, kid? Training for boxing. Well, you're wasting your time, mate. You got a punching bag right here. Okay, bang. Cheekbones aren't going to grow themselves.
But it begs the question, you know, should you be smashing your face in on the daily? Should you be getting your 5 a day? And by 5 a day, I mean, you know, 5 right hooks to your zygomatic arch. No. Just take care of yourself, mate. All right, I reckon. Lower your body fat percentage a little bit. That should do the trick. I mean, if your cheekbones aren't where you want them to be, ask some sort of medical professional. I wouldn't be too quick to take the advice of a hammer-wielding lunatic. I just can't imagine anyone laying in bed, punching themselves in the face over and over again, doesn't sit back and contemplate, you know. Am I doing the right thing here? Should I be getting a job or something maybe? But hey, you've got to give credit where credit's due, all right? He is a handsome bloke at the end of the day, so is he just living, breathing proof that these methods work? I don't know. Apparently he had a very impressive ascension, if you will. So let's have a look at that ascension. Right. Brilliant. He just went through puberty, really, didn't he? If he just let puberty do its thing and then ate well, exercised, just generally took care of himself, I reckon he'd look just like that. I think he just can't be asked to do stuff like, you know, go to the gym regularly, exercise, run, eat healthy. Instead, he just sort of doesn't do that and takes drugs to replicate the effects of doing that. But hey, what am I talking about? I'm not the Looksmaxxer here, okay? I'm sure plenty of those chemicals are just working straight wonders. But that particular transition, it did just sort of look like, you know, child to young adult. And it's not like he looked like some sort of drowned rat when he was a kid. He looked normal. Maybe I'm wrong. I mean, it's obviously a very impressive glow up, but it's just the fact that it was, you know, he started out as a kid. If it was, yeah, an adult in adulthood making that sort of move, it would be insane. But the real impressive thing, I guess, is that, you know, he looks like that despite not looking after himself, which I assume is the effect of all the medication. Anyway, let's see Clav using these expertise that he's picked up along the way to do what he does best, to do what he's passionate about, which I believe is rating men's faces.
Next up, we have Henry Cavill.
Henry Cavill, that's going to be an 8.5 out of 10. So the reason that Henry Cavill's face is so unique is because of two ratios and the combination of them working together.
Right.
That's going to be the mid-face ratio and the facial width to height ratio. Facial width to height ratio is how wide this part of your face is. And mid-face ratio is the distance between your eyes. In comparison with the distance between your eyes to your lip.
All right. Wrap that one up, pal. I'll save you guys the trauma. Yeah, I love Henry Cavill. He's just so hot.
I love his face. It's just so unique. The ratios, everything.
Is it gay to deeply assess a brother's face? I mean, that's the big question here. We kind of do it with physiques. You know, it's part of gym bro culture to at least be appreciative of another bloke's physique if he's in good shape. But do you start to win the homosexual competition when it gets a bit, you know, hasn't he got nice eyes, right? I don't know. That's the big debate. That's the mass debate. In fairness, I think he himself has kind of grown out of this behavior, probably because he noticed his fan base was mostly built up of blokes that just forensically rate men's faces instead of, you know, addressing years of homoerotic fantasies. That's not to say that he isn't pretty responsible for building a community that contains some of the worst people in the world, okay? Where some of these Discord mods have arisen from the soil and are now visible in nature.
Clav.
Is that Marlon?
No way.
Oh. This is intense. I mean, we have two of the best moggers in the game.
Yeah, it's all good stuff. It really is. I might get really invested as well and start using terms like mog off. I'm pretty sure these guys are satire, but they certainly parody a real population, a population that is very present within Clav's fan base. I mean, you open the comment section on a clavicular edit. It's like a fucking disease in there, man. I've never seen so many meaningless acronyms. It's like trying to read one of Elon Musk's kids' names.
Do you think women are more attractive than men?
Absolutely not, because when we look at women, we're looking at the most put together, frauded versions of themselves. But with men, it's natural, unchanged beauty that can't be frauded because it's a bone-related thing.
Sure. Yeah, right. Okay. He thinks men are more attractive than women because of their natural unchanged beauty. All right. So I think there's a word for that. I'm not sure. I feel like the mass debate I was talking about earlier is kind of settling itself right now. No, we're pretty clear that Clav obviously is not gay. He's out there getting chicks all the time on his streams. He's not gay. He's just, I don't know, just a big fan of the sport, I guess. And there is nothing wrong with that, okay? This is just his thing. This is his passion, all right? Let him live. He just, you know, he knows a sexy dude when he sees one. I am pretty sure my last two videos have just turned into me picking apart straight people's homosexual tendencies, which is, there's nothing wrong with it, by the way. And it's not my only thing. I do other stuff. I do loads of other stuff like sort of...
So, I've been rated what's called a high-tier normie, is what a lot of people say.
It's not a sentence you hear very often, is it? Not one I plan on hearing again. Guys, who's excited to find out about the face rating scale and how it works? Anyone?
So the scale is low-tier normie, mid-tier normie, high-tier normie, Chad Light, and Chad.
Onward.
Right? So to quantify that is a little bit difficult to, kind of explain that to normal people because...
God, I wonder why. Sorry, I am butting in too much. I feel like I'm doing you a favor, though, but I'll let it roll.
Normal people would assume that the average is a 7, right? Or this is what I always hear. Women will always tend to rate people that they find average, 50th percentile, as a 7, which is ridiculous, right? Because an average person would be a 5 on the look scale. So it's a huge numbers thing. It's really autistic, but everything is about numbers, right? And measurements. So that could be the measurement of your eyes based on, the width of your zygos, and relativity. There's just all these different numbers, and then it gets you what's called a harmony score, right? So you take all these different measurements, you do the math, you check it out on your face, and then we're gonna get a percentage harmony score.
Yeah. You're losing me here, dude. I'm gonna level with you. I think a lot of the crowd just left. Because I get what you mean. The ranking scale is between 1 and 10. It would make sense for 5 to be the average, but if you're doing this to attract women, and women would rate the average man as 7, then why would you drag yourself down on this scale that's only used by blokes? I do feel like you're doing too much with this one. This scale, I think, is the key to Pandora's box. And once you open it, you will never be happy with the way you look. But no, I suppose this is the system. If you really want to optimize those looks, you rank yourself on this system, goddammit. What am I doing? I'm trying to mog and I'm questioning the system. Fuck.
The best steroid is testosterone. Test is best, by far. That's always a saying. If you could remember one thing that I tell you, test is best.
Is that a saying? Sorry. That's always a saying. I don't remember that one from school. I must have missed that class. Test is best. I remember, don't touch tell. I think that was an anti-drugs campaign, but test is best. Why is that not ringing any bells? But anyway, stop talking about tests, dude, all right? We get it. It's awesome. All right, let's find someone else.
So who came up with all of this? So this has been around for thousands of years, right? When we think of the mid-face ratio being 1-to-1, this is something that was, made in ancient Greece, right? So these are not numbers that just autistic people on forums came up with 5 years ago.
Sure, but I mean, they have really kept it alive, haven't they? This stuff dates back all the way to ancient Greece, and look how far we've come. All right, people have been mogging for years, dude. Socrates versus Plato, drive-by mog-off. I need eyes on this. He does know a thing or two, doesn't he, this guy? Do you reckon he's got any eyebrow tips?
How do you improve your eyebrows? Improving your eyebrows, the best way to go about that is going to be oral minoxidil. Now, I prefer that as opposed to the topical because the systemic drug is always going to be better. It's always going to be more efficacious.
Guys, silence. I'm learning. These ginger brows ain't doing nothing for me. All right, I'll take every piece of advice I can get. I want a mog like Clav. Mom, why did you confiscate my oral minoxidil?
So on eye bags, what else can you do to fix them? Is filler the best way?
No, filler is very bad. I'm a huge anti-filler guy because...
Ooh, not a big filler fan, huh? Filler, not cool. Boo. Meth, though. Oh, that on the other hand, load me up, player. I swear to God, I can't get enough of this stuff. Lean is law. Give me some more.
So when you come home, right, and you have to take off your shoes, what you do is you have to set up what's called vantage points. So you would take something... So you put a vantage point here. So that way you take off the shoes, and then you go, rest on it, and then you set up the next vantage point right over here, and then you just make it to the bedroom. That way you're good. So that's the
Are you trolling on the vantage point, or
No, I'm being dead serious.
What are you talking about, dude? Well, that's ridiculous, obviously. This guy's just given a tutorial on how to turn a one-night stand into an episode of Total Wipeout. Can't say I'm too shocked that he wears stilts on a night out. The guy, does meth and hits himself with a hammer. This is simply the least he can do. But how big are the stilts? If it's a noticeable... If it's something he's worried about her noticing.
Vantage point. You got this, Clav. Come on. Boom. Nice. Brilliant. You've done it. Right. You just need to get over there.
Clavicular. Are you coming to bed?
Yes. Absolutely. I'm just gonna have a little look at the view. Oh, isn't it a lovely view? I'm gonna take a look at the view. You go ahead. You go in. And I will be right there. Okay.
Well, no, it's all right. I'll just wait out here with you till you're ready.
No. You're wasting your time. Honestly, it's all yours in there. I'm just gonna... If I could just make it over there without you looking. Quick, look, over there, there's a bloke with great mandibular growth.
What are you doing?
Why didn't you look? I would've.
Why have you shrunk?
What? Oh.
What do you do if a girl says, hey, are you wearing makeup?
I don't think that would ever happen unless you're just egregiously over the top.
But let's just say in this hypothetical situation, a girl comes up to you, wow, you did a really good job concealing your eye bags.
Then you just say thank you, just don't spike your cortisol, and then do a better job so it's more undetectable next time.
Brilliant. Just don't spike your cortisol. Great advice for any makeup wearers out there, guys. On today's episode of Clav's Lads Makeup Tips, I get it, I suppose. I'm not against it. I see the vision. Like concealer under the eye bags, or if you've got one absolute prick of a spot. But again, it's, you know, one of those things that's going to get addictive, and it's so high maintenance. Why bother? Sorry, guys, I don't know what I'm talking about. I've just remembered. Of course you're going to need makeup. You need to cover those 2 black eyes you've got after a hard night of bone smashing. You don't want to spike your cortisol, guys, under any circumstances. You don't want that bloated face, okay? You want to remain cool, calm, and collected. Ice cold. Border on emotionless, actually. If you're having a conversation with someone and that person isn't thinking, this guy might actually fucking blow his brains out any minute now, then you're not doing it right. I've heard about this, though. I've heard about high cortisol at night. Bad news, apparently, for bloating your face and shit. So there's my attribute to Looksmaxing. Can't mug with a bloated face, guys. That is a no-go. There's one thing I know, it's that you can't mug with a bloated face. It's like trying to fuck with a flaccid.
I just want to mug.
Anyway, let's have a little look at this legend in the wild. They let him loose on a podcast with a few ladies. Let's see how that went down.
Yeah, can you give up, say why so she got 3.5. Why and how can she improve?
Well, her mid face is way too long. Obviously, she's got the jowls coming in, horrible nasolabial folds. You know, horrible total facial width to height ratio, just really bad age indicators, but obviously at 30, that's not something really that's going to surprise me. Her upper maxilla is super recessed, horrible infraorbitals. That's why your under eyes are coming in like hell. Really recessed chin. You know, all the facial convexities are wrong. Her radix is recessed.
Oh my god. I'm sorry, that is not very nice, right? But I mean, I've just never seen someone insult someone else, you know, so heavily as well, by dismantling the length of their facial features. It's funny. It's quite funny. It's like insane. He's like a fucking movie character. They should make a film about this guy. He just goes on and on. I've never seen anything like it. I honestly don't know if anyone else in the world could insult someone for so long, especially without knowing anything about them. But he can literally just look at a person, like a superpower, look at a person and see 58 different insults just right off the bat.
This next election cycle, who's going to win? It's going to be Gavin Newsom against J.D. Vance, because J.D. Vance is subhuman and Gavin Newsom mugs.
J.D. Vance is subhuman?
Yeah.
What makes you say that?
He's got a very short total facial width to height ratio. He's obese, very recessed side profile, whereas Newsom is like 6'3" Chad. So
Yes. Standing ovation. I'm all for it. Okay, I think we should be voting for politicians based on their harmony score. Why the hell not? I mean, we're not doing that, and look where it's getting us. Dare I say, Clav for president? Okay, I want to see bone smashing enforced by law. You pull up to school, and you're just met by your teacher with a fucking right hook to the gonial. Okay, it's for the greater good, he says, as you fall unconscious. Pull up to physical education class, but PE no longer stands for physical education. It stands for fucking punching eyeball. That one was less creative, I'll admit. But anyway, in more recent news, he got arrested because he ran somebody over, like I mentioned at the beginning, but he got away scot-free. I think Aiden Ross's lawyers got amongst it. I think Aiden Ross is like the Suge Knight of Florida, so he was absolutely fine. But then he got arrested again more recently. I don't quite know what for. I think he had substances on him, which, I mean, when doesn't he? But news just in now, the big news everyone's talking about is that apparently he's been mogged. Apparently he's been frame mogged. No.
I have a lot of friends there, so yeah.
Appreciate you.
Crimson Tide?
I don't use Snap.
You got me by a lot. I stopped gymming.
Clav, no! Don't step in that frame, Clav, no! Fuck!
Friends there.
Clav. Appreciate you.
This frat leader.
Crimson Tide?
This guy looks a little big.
By a lot.
Don't do it, Clav.
Stop gymming. Yeah, dude. Fuck.
I don't know why he did it. I don't know why Clav came to this decision to stand next to this kid, but boy oh boy, it was the wrong decision. Yeah, Clav usually never makes mistakes.
He looks like a jester. Who's my favorite Looksmaxxer?
Like when people under the height of 6 foot start talking, just turn your brain off. There's never There's never a good thing for them that they say.
I agree. Couldn't agree more. Deal with it. Brilliant. Common ground. I love it. And with that, guys, it's been a wild ride, but I think that's where we're going to wrap it up, okay? I hope you've been enlightened against your will into the world of Looksmaxing. What do we think of Clav in the end? I mean, I think the whole Looksmaxing thing got ridiculous, obviously, but himself, he's a bit weird, but he's pretty funny, and he'd probably be alright in real life. You know, obviously, he's got quite a persona for the internet. But obviously, to clear up everything he's told you to do, just don't do it. I would take his advice as things you probably shouldn't be doing, and then you'll be fine. But yeah, I hope you guys have enjoyed. If you have, make sure to like the video and subscribe, because I want to see you in the next one. And comment down below who you want to see the next video on, and if you want to see any more Clavicular in the future. And with that, hasta la vista.